Emma Chamberlain is like every girl I knew growing up. Talkative, confident, never giving a flying what anyone thought of her. She's so confident that she's even confident when she's not feeling confident. Emma, to me, embodies that cool girl 90s aesthetic that I was always enamored with as a kid. They were my friends and aunts and cousins, and a lot of that vibe helped mold who I am today. So I'm here to break it all down for you. How can you learn from Emma's seemingly effortless personality? Let's dive into it in this episode of Classic Charm. The first thing you need to be aware of is this isn't a how to be Emma Chamberlain video. That defeats the whole purpose of learning from her. Emma is Emma, and that's why we love her. For you to try to be like Emma would be you being less like Emma, which would be watered down and unoriginal. So in learning from Emma, you're actually learning to be more you. That's in fact what my entire channel is about, inspiring everyone to be more themselves so they could find the right group of friends, the right partner, the right audience, whatever it is, so you're more perfectly on your own life path that you want to be. The first thing I want to talk about is a huge one. This was something that completely changed my life in my 20s. Do you have that one kind of mood you're in that you think is simply the coolest, most likable version of you? Do you find yourself always trying to reach that side of you? Yeah, I used to do that too. And guess what? It actually ended up accomplishing the opposite effect. I would try forcing my mood to be that perfect version of me, and it just stressed me out and made my mood even more anxious and not myself. Then one day I decided, you know what? This is fucking stressing me out. I'm just gonna embrace however the hell I feel at any given moment, no matter what. And something really weird happened. When I just trusted and owned whatever vibe I was feeling, no matter what, I started relaxing. I started feeling better about those moods. I was weirdly becoming confident about my anxiety or low states. And guess what else? This actually made that super confident, talkative, fun version of myself happen much more often. It's like I used to strangle the natural ebb and flow of my personality so much that I wasn't allowing it to naturally just do its job. Anyway, Emma Chamberlain does this fucking flawlessly. When Emma's feeling super talkative and excitable, she'll just let it out. But if she's feeling chilled out, she just owns the hell out of that mood too. She does this on a micro level as well. If I ever had a random spurt of anxiety, I would fight it. Emma, on the other hand, if she randomly feels anxiety, she instantly owns it. She expresses it the moment she feels it, as though it's all part of the wonderful, interesting, completely unique ball of a human being that she is. Instead of molding her own personality, which most people do, Emma allows her personality to mold itself by just trusting her impulses.
Just took a fat shit, now it's time to go get a coffee.
I love watching the tiny millisecond of a moment that Emma gets that small jolt of anxiety and watching how she then deals with it. She just expresses it. Watch here in this video with Tana Monjo?
Cations on because this shit ain't getting recommended anywhere. So yeah.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah.
So the first question.
I'm like nervous.
There's something about being an open book that is therapeutic. When you have absolutely nothing to hide, it's like there's no more tension inside of you, because every time you feel the tension, you just release it. When Emma's having a really bad day, she lets herself have a really bad day. She either films herself dealing with the inner turmoil or she doesn't film at all. But one thing that she definitely does not do is film a video while trying to act like that turmoil is just not there. So I believe one of the big reasons Emma is so confident in herself is exactly because she allows herself to feel however her body is telling her to feel at any given moment. It's almost like she's her own therapist or parent. Though she needs people like everyone else does, she partly also knows how to take care of herself emotionally. So remember this, being confident is not about feeling perfect at all times. I think a big part of being confident is choosing to respect, love, and own exactly how you feel at all times. And I believe Emma really likes herself. So to even say one thing that isn't what her body is telling her is to be watering herself down. She needs to constantly show the world who she is, regardless if it might be annoying or sometimes boring. Here's that interview with Cody Ko and Kelsey Kreppel where she mentions how she has a very low threshold for fakeness.
Now that I make videos, I'm a tough critic because I'm like, I see right through all of it, you know? Because I know I can see when someone's being fake. I can't tolerate it. I cannot tolerate it. Like, if I watch a video and someone's not being themselves, I don't want to watch it because I'm here for them. I don't give a fuck about what they're doing. Like, I just want to watch them for them.
Now, I know there's videos where it catches Emma in a lie, but that's not the point here. Because even when Emma is lying, she's still being herself somehow. It's not the words that she takes so seriously. It's her unique expression of self. So even her low moods are blasting with interestingness just because she makes it so. Even her negative moods are so interesting because it just adds to the concoction of who she is. As an individualist, Emma knows that it's not just one side of her that makes her who she is. It's all sides of her constantly morphing in and out of each other. This is all part of Emma's love for life. It's another facet of what makes a person confident. At any given moment, there's two choices you can make. You could either decide to engage with your life and be a player in whatever moment you're in, or you could retreat and hide inside your mind. When I see Emma, even when she's down and out, she's always jumping head first into the current moment. She's engaging in her environment. She's present. She's here. Who knows where she goes when the camera's off or when nobody's around, but I know that whenever I see her, she's engaging in the moment. Now, I struggled with this for a while too, because being an introvert extrovert, I'm inside my head like half of the time and outside my head half of the time. And when I'm in there, it's hard to get out of there. Extroverts simply have an easier time jumping out of their head naturally, but that doesn't mean you can't exercise that muscle. I think of it like a tunnel in your mind, the extrovert tunnel. Every time I choose to engage with reality, the entrance to that tunnel just gets a little bit easier to go through. Every time I make a conscious decision to actively participate with my surroundings, it's less of a stress to walk through it. I love being both an introvert and an extrovert, but I did not like how hard it was for me to switch back into extroversion. And I didn't like that I jumped into my thoughts every single time I felt the slightest bit of anxiety. Now I deal with those issues less and less because I have a lot of practice saying, Anthony, it's time to be present. Anyway, let's get into the second part of this video, where I show you the 9 traits that all charmers have and how Emma Chamberlain possesses these traits, probably more strongly than most charmers I've come across. But first, take a second to go click subscribe if you're interested in improving yourself in the relationships in your life. As I've grown 150,000 subscribers so far in 2020, and I'm just getting started in helping people become the more real, happy, confident, attractive versions of themselves. And since you're watching me right now, you are also part of that. So click subscribe right now, hit the bell updates to all so you get a notification for the next classic charm I'm doing, which is on Lizakoshi, and then bring your eyes back up here for the next half of this video. It's about to get real interesting. Okay, this is a big moment for me because I feel like this is the most significant thing anyone could have analyzed. What actually makes someone charming? Because at least for me, it's a super specific vibe I get from some people. Anyone could be charming. It's just that some people were literally born with it, like Emma, and some people learn it. But for me, I needed to figure out what the hell, every little piece of what it means to be charming. Anyway, here's the first trait of charm. Now, you tell me if you think Emma has this. Embracing her individuality. But let's really get into what this means. First of all, it's a more specific term for being yourself. But if you've been on this channel before, you know I hate the term be yourself, as it's so overused it almost has no meaning anymore. So like we saw before, Emma values individuality both in herself and in others. It's because she loves herself and because she would probably feel sick to her stomach if she had to act inauthentically to who she really is. She's addicted to speaking her mind. She loves making sure that everything she does sets herself apart from the pack. And it goes without saying she's expressive as hell, openly opinionated, always speaking her emotions and thoughts, and she has no facade that caters to society's standards.
I just got a fucking 68-year-old man hitting on me in my taxi, Uber, whatever. Like, this is what's really up right now. Like, this is gonna headline for sure. This is also very illegal, and also he told me he loved me and then started playing me his favorite jazz mixtape. And I was like, this is love, for real. And we haven't talked since, and I fucking miss him. So if you're watching this, like, miss you. You're the best. Your mixtape sucked ass, but like I acted like I liked it to make you happy. It was fine.
I need to really bring this home for you. Emma is able to embrace her individuality because she loves herself so much. This is often seen as a taboo topic for people. The idea that you think you're the dopest person you know. People see that as being self-centered. But for charming people, they know that you can't love the world unless you first love yourself. We can't move any further on this list until this one is taken care of. None of them matter without this one. One more thing. I'm not saying Emma feels like this all the time. Nobody's a perfect human, and I don't expect you to be either. We all have bouts of sadness and depression, and I know Emma does too from time to time. Just wanted to clear that up for all y'all. Next up on the recipe for being charming, all charming people are usually playful and having fun. They don't take life so seriously. They're joking around a lot. They have a big sense of humor. They're cheerful, childish, and rarely angry. Is this even a question when it comes to Emma? She is the kind of person that could take a boring situation and automatically figure out how to make it more fun. Why? Simply because it makes life more exciting. Why would you sit at dinner with the paps staring at you when you could go over and show them a card trick you just learned?
You guys check this, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, you see this?
Yes.
So this is your card. All right.
Let's see some games.
Sam, Emma.
Whoa! Hey Emma.
10 out of 10. I appreciate you guys so much. I'll do another one later. Maybe.
Emma.
Okay, mark of charm number 3, down to earth. But what does being down to earth actually mean? Someone that's down to earth is never concerned with showing their superiority around others. They understand that trying to show that you're better than someone else is actually an insecure trait. It means that you're okay with being wrong, making mistakes, and screwing up. You're self-deprecating and always laughing at yourself. You aren't scared of ridicule or being teased, and you're proudly and openly vulnerable. Being vulnerable is such an important part of charm. Being vulnerable is such an important part of being confident also. Basically, what it means is the ability to say something that could potentially put you up for judgment. Most people think being vulnerable means being weak, but it's the opposite. Most people go around only saying things they believe everyone will want to hear, and they think that's what confidence is. Nope. Confidence is when you put yourself up for rejection just to stay true to yourself. Emma, time and time again, shows that even when she's dressed like a freaking goddess from head to toe for some big event, she's always gonna be the most down-to-earth person in the room.
I'm lonely, but no, it's like super good. It's super good because I'm just like, I'm my own woman.
But lonely.
But like lonely. Wait, how old do you have to be on a dating app? I would never get a dating app. I would never get a dating app.
Why?
I always had a phobia of them because I feel like who's on there?
Here's number 4. Charming people always take a special positive interest in others. This is one of the big ones that I think separates charming people from narcissists. Narcissists, they don't really give a shit about anyone except themselves. And if they do take interest in somebody, it's only really to make themselves look good or get ahead. Nope. A truly charming person loves the person in front of them so much that they treat them like the most important person in their life. And because of that, they work to make that person feel special. There's no other thing going on than that person right in front of you. And in almost every interaction I've ever seen, Emma does this spectacularly. She's so damn engaged with everyone, and she's always trying to make that person feel appreciated. But it goes even further than that. Charming people don't just take a socially distanced interest in others, they're immediately and effortlessly intimate with people they meet. Emma treats everyone as though they've been best friends forever.
I love her.
I love her.
We love each other.
And this isn't an act. Emma just loves that immediate connection. She doesn't like the wall between her and others, so she throws that wall away as quickly as possible. Let's get to the next trait. Emma, just like every other charming person, has a very prominent, rebellious, free-spirited, absurd, misbehaving part of their personality. She's not constrained by conventions. She likes breaking the rules, and she's often mischievous. Look at her here in class when she used to vlog in high school.
What does it mean to move politely or move graciously? Like,
not push and shove or cut in line.
Flip people off when they're driving, stuff like that.
Absolutely, right? Ahead of you, so you speed up. Homework, everybody give it now.
You have great eyelashes.
Homework, but I won't have a cow.
You won't have a cow? Have a cow? More like have a tofu. You're welcome. Honestly, you just teach the entire lesson just singing. Midpoint formula. Does that mean no shapes exist? What?
Right.
Do you know what? Math has been a lie my entire life. Oh my god, I'm gonna pee. Yeah.
But this is the interesting part about charming people. Charm is all about balance. And if Emma was only a rebellious person, it wouldn't be charming. So the next trait of charm directly opposes this one. As much as Emma is a little punk, she's also polite, courteous, and stays on the straight line. She knows how to reel it in when needed and never strays too far to be offensive. She explains it here when talking about how she interacts with her teachers during class.
You gotta have a good relationship with the teachers, even though I tend to accidentally roast them. So it's like kind of me trying to find a hard balance there. It's like, okay, am I roasting them too much? Or am I doing it just the right amount to keep them guessing? You know, keep them on their toes, but don't like offend them. That's my whole roasting technique. It's like kind of like soft and just like a little bit stinging. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't work, but maybe it does. So either way, I don't know.
The next one is every charming person who's ever lived has been quick-witted. And dude, we all know Miss Chamberlain is an expert in this department, but let me define what quick-witted means so we could really understand it. The ability and inclination to perceive the moment-to-moment situation as well as psychological state of others and to guide one's behavior in accordance with that perception. You know Emma's quick-witted as fuck, so let's not take any more time on this one. We're at number 8. This is where they start getting a little less expected. The 8th trait to any charming person is grace. Yeah, this one tripped me up for a little bit. When I was spending a whole 3 months trying to extract every trait every charming person possesses, I couldn't quite put my finger on this one because I wasn't exactly sure what it meant. But then I looked up the definition and it was spot on. Grace is to be physically interacting with your immediate environment in a harmonious, controlled, and positive way. And again, if you notice every charming person, they're all just graceful. Robert Downey Jr., Jeff Goldblum, and Emma Chamberlain. Even though Emma definitely has a slouchy, I don't give a shit vibe about her, she still has this elegant control of her body. You could see this in her vlog going to Paris Fashion Week. The second the cameras start flashing, she enters this poised demeanor. She's somehow able to turn into a supermodel in a flash. Not many people could do that. This, again, has everything to do with the fact that Emma is so engaged with the present moment at all times. Okay, we've reached the final trait of any charming person. Every single charming person is passionate about at least one thing. And honestly, it's usually more than one thing. For instance, if we go back to Jeff Goldblum and Robert Downey Jr., these guys aren't just passionate about the art of acting, but they're also accomplished musicians in their own right as well. It's something about charming people and their love for life. They just have so many interests. And if we look at Emma, she's no different. Actually, fun game, I'm gonna give you a second to think of just one passion Emma has, and let's see if I can guess what you're thinking. Were you guessing fashion? Probably because, yeah, Emma is super passionate about it. If she's not thrifting, she's cutting up old clothes, and if she's not doing any of that, she's modeling in designer outfits. But charming people usually have more than one passion, and for Emma, her next passion is definitely YouTube. YouTube is her therapy. Hitting record is like laying down on the squeaky leather psychologist couch and speaking her mind. Editing is her playground. Uploading is connecting with her community.
I wanted to be the person on YouTube that put it all on the table because I feel like that was something that didn't exist yet, and I wanted to be that because I was like, there's room for that. The only thing that's different about me in real life versus on camera is that I'm not going to turn on my camera if I'm in a bad mood. Besides that, I mean, I'm pretty much the same. I think. I mean, I just kind of talk to the camera as if it's my buddy, and we're just getting coffee or something. I am feeling so at home and so rejuvenated. I have my caffeine fix, but what I normally bring when I come to my second home fills, always have my camera,
If you have a camera, you have a tripod. If I want to film a video, or when I'm filming a video, I just strap this on. I just make videos for whoever wants to watch at this point. I have always thought about it as a one-on-one interaction between me and whoever the viewer is, and I've kind of had a hard time understanding and being able to comprehend like the idea of it being more than just a one-on-one connection. And for my own mental stability, that's what it cracks down to. That's what it is. It's just whoever's watching and then me. Whereas thinking about like 5 million people watching one of my videos, that's something I can't really comprehend.
The difference between Emma and a lot of other YouTubers is Emma fucking loves making videos. What I mean is, she doesn't care as much about the fame and views and all those vanity metrics that most people want to gain from the culture. No, Emma feels at peace when she turns on the camera. Like she says, the camera is her best friend. That's passion. She would be a YouTuber even if she had no big following, because she does it largely for herself. Everything else is just a bonus. So, I would say the first half of this video is for everyone. Literally everyone should take the advice of owning and loving your mood, consciously choosing to be present, and all that other good stuff. Those are the tools to managing your inner emotional health and becoming more yourself. But the second half of this video is the recipe to how to be charming. It's really just a small handful of humans that will ever fit all those traits almost all the time, but it's certainly still fun to break it all down for you and explain why Emma is as attractive as she is. It explains how all those huge YouTubers wanted to collaborate with her before she even moved to Los Angeles, because again, most people aren't and never will be charming, and honestly, it's not a necessary skill to have in most circumstances. That being said, Emma is charming. She can knock you out with just a glance. She makes you want to be even more real just being around her. Even the name Emma Chamberlain sounds like it's some actor from the 1940s. There's so much to learn from her, and that's why she's now one of the few that joined this list of people in the Classic Charm series. I'm so appreciative that you're now at my channel and we're able to chat about personality, happiness, and relationships. I put out several videos each week on this channel, and I'm going to continue to do so for the rest of my life. Before you watch the next episode on Zendaya's charm, you could do a little clickety-clackety on that cute red button below and hit the bell notice to get an update on the Liza Koshy video I'm doing next. Also, I have another series where I react to TV shows, movies, and YouTube videos analyzing the relationship dynamics in them. And I'm soon putting out a new series called First Date, where I set up YouTubers on blind dates and coach them through it. So after you hit subscribe, click to watch this Zendaya video here.